What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, kind of just gonna do a couple of things. I am gonna do a little install on the Z as well, kind of go over the things that have been giving me issues, go over the things that need to get done to the car, etc., etc. So what I'm going to be installing today is the wheel bearings in the rear. I went ahead and actually bought the whole hub so that I don't have to get the wheel bearing pressed in. You can just unbolt this whole setup from the back of the car and then bolt it back in, and you pretty much get a new hub, new studs. So whatever, it's easier to install like this, and I don't have a press, so I think it'll be a little bit more work, but I think it's easier in a sense than getting a press and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing for the install portion of this. On the Z, she has been running pretty good. I went ahead and upgraded the belt. I got a green belt now. It was a very, very tight fit, giggity, but it works, so definitely a good upgrade there. However, if you own a DE or you know of these issues, this spark plug tube right here, because of the valve cover, is leaking. So there's oil filling up in the spark plug tube hole, and whatever it gets full, it'll spill out. It'll cause an oil smell. It'll smoke. So I have just been taking it out and draining it, letting it just flush out and get burnt once the car turns on. Obviously that's not the ideal way to do it, but I don't want to really do the valve cover right now, so I've just been doing that anytime I take the car out, and it hasn't built up excessively to the point where it's like, oh my god, it needs to get replaced tomorrow. But it definitely is something that we need to replace, and that sucks because I hate doing valve covers, but whatever. I mean, we're just gonna have to do it. Another little thing that I am gonna go hopefully pick up soon, I don't want to say too soon because life, but are some slicks for the car, because these tires aren't cutting it. Honestly, I'm gonna make fun of myself right now because when I bought these tires, I thought these were the best drag radial compound that you could get for the street. But I did find out that Mickey Thompson makes a Street R version. I have the ET Street SS, and these are a little bit more of an actual like street tire, whereas the Street R are pretty much a slick for the street. But yeah, so I failed there, but there's no point in really getting a Street R at the moment, where I can just go get a slick and run the best time that I could possibly run at the track. So that's my next step with the car, is just to throw a slick on it and send it. The car needs to leave with power, and it needs to leave with traction, so a slick is the way to go. But yeah, so I'm gonna set you guys up. I'm gonna start disassembling the rear end here to go ahead and install the wheel bearings / hubs. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright guys, so the way I'm going to be doing this is I already took out the axle nut, I took off the wheel. I'm going to be dropping off the exhaust because it just gets it out of the way and it's a lot easier to work. So I'm going to take that off, I'm going to take the axles off, then you got to take the brake off and the rotor, and then you have access to the 4 bolts behind this that hold the hub and bearing. As you can see right there, there's 4 bolt holes. So essentially, once you have this all taken apart, this unbolts, slides straight out, and then you push it in and then bolt it in from the back. So I'm gonna go ahead now and take off the axles and the exhaust, and then I'm gonna work on the brake caliper and the rotor. Alright guys, well, I wasn't gonna bore you with the easy stuff. I got the axle off, I got the exhaust off, I got the brake caliper and rotor off, and as you can see, I mean, there's a little bit of play. Sounds a little garbage. The other side doesn't sound that bad, but whatever. Regardless, I have new ones, so might as well go ahead and throw them in. So now to take this whole part out, what you're gonna do is, let's see if I can get the light back here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but there is 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. So once you get those loose, this whole front piece just slides out forward, and then you take the new piece, slide it in, and then tighten up those 4 bolts, and then just reassemble everything. Super easy. Just a lot of things to kind of take off, but nothing too major where anybody could just do it. So yeah. Alright guys, so here's the old one compared to the new one, just to give you a little bit of comparison. And as you can see, this is pretty much what you're left with. You're gonna go ahead and I like to just clean up the hole there. But yeah, so this essentially just slides in like that and then gets bolted from the back. All right, guys, so as you can see, I'm pretty much have everything buttoned up. I need to put the axle nuts on. I'm sorry, the axle bolts that connect to the diff. Gotta get those all tight, but besides that, that part is all done. The hub is all done. Brakes are back on. Wheel on that side is on. I gotta put it on this side, and then I am gonna put on the exhaust. The only thing is that I've been using this crusty, silicone with a crusty gasket, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get a new gasket. If you didn't know, Pep Boys actually carries vibrant gaskets. To my knowledge, they still do. Sometimes you might just have to call and get them ordered, but they do sell 2.5 and 3-inch exhaust gaskets from Vibrant, so that's pretty cool. So that's where I'm going to be going ahead and getting those. But yeah, so I'm going to get this all buttoned up, and then we might go hang out with some friends, see some other cars, see what's up. Alright guys, so as you saw in the last clip, the wheel bearings are done. I'm just waiting on the exhaust gasket for this so I can put that back on. And while I was back here, my inner ricer kind of got channeled, and yeah, I need blue painter's tape because it would look a lot better. But I put tape here. I might go ahead and just do the little baby cut bumper, not like all the way up, but just like a little cut, so that it gets rid of like the exhaust little pieces, because I think that's ugly, especially if you're not running a dual exhaust. So yeah, some of you might not like this, some of you might think it's awesome, but I don't really care because it's my car, so I'm gonna send it. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm gonna go ahead and set you up, set up a little time lapse, and get her done, brother. All right guys, so there you have it, the infamous bumper cut. I didn't do it too high. I wanted it to be somewhat subtle, but as you can see there, the cut's not the best. It definitely looks like Stevie Wonder cut it, but that's totally fine. Race car, don't really matter. But yeah, so exhaust gasket, I'll put that on, and then we'll take it out for a cruise. All right guys, so went ahead and picked up the exhaust gasket from Pep Boys. I think it's pretty cool that Pep Boys carries Vibrant products. You do need to special order them because they didn't have it in stock. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that on, let the car sit for a little bit, let the silicone dry that I'm gonna be using. The silicone that I use is this, just because I hate putting an exhaust gasket on and then having an exhaust leak. So I do put a little bit of this on it and then tighten it together. Has worked for me great. So yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we can close out this video. All right guys, I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear me, but I got the Z back together, put everything back on. I'm gonna take it for a little test drive, go to Miguel's house, and then close out this video. So yeah. Say hi. Oh God. Okay. All right. So I mean, I will sit here and say, oh, it sounds a lot quieter. You don't hear the whoop 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 whoop. But I mean, this shit's gutted. I can't really hear it that well, but I guess it sounds a little quieter. I mean, definitely the wheel is spinning a lot more freely. So that's the goal, and it's obviously a new part as opposed to a part that probably had 100,000 miles on it. But yeah, I mean, it works. You saw it was a decently easy install, so. Alright guys, well that's gonna do it for this video. Sorry it wasn't anything super fun, but I thought I would just get this video out in case you guys were interested on knowing how to do it, and just to give you a little update on the car. But yeah, we have a lot of big things coming up in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned to our Instagram, stay tuned to our YouTube, as we will be announcing things there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting. We recently just hit 700 subscribers and we're on the road to 1,000, so let's try to go ahead and make that happen. Thank you guys so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, peace out.